Okay. Good timing, huh? You want to say hi?
No.
No. Oh, you stinker. I saw what you're trying to do there. You're stealth mode over there.
Pick it up.
Think you're fancy.
Pick it up.
See what you're doing over there.
Pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later. Okay. Rip roaring start. That's for timing. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right. Now we're ready. All aboard the Nuss Bus 2024. College football starts today. I grab that Nuss Bus shirt. It comes out of the dryer. It's a little comes out the dryer and it's a little snug. Anyway, okay. How about that start to the show? What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday college game day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedic, go to Brock. Remember, after hours clinics, open nights and weekends, means today. Parish Construction and Roofing, you need a roof. We love to help. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. You've heard about the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, they got them. They can do telemed, so you don't even have to go in the office. They can ship you your medicine anywhere in the country. So even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, you can still use Unique Physique. And all throughout the month of August, 50% off your first month. And of course, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Okay, y'all. Let's see. We'll say some good mornings here. Big day. Got College Game Day on the TV here in the office. Excited about that. They're over in Ireland, which is crazy and awesome. And hopefully LSU gets to play there someday and I get to go on the company's dime. Excited about this. We get 4 games today. Florida State and Georgia Tech starting here in about 2.5 hours. Jacked about that. Big day. Decision day for 2 elite LSU prospects. Aiden Anding, the cornerback out of Ruston. Tons of big-time offers. LSU, Texas, USC, Michigan, all the big guys. Cornerback out of Ruston, expected to pick LSU today. And then Jonah Williams, 5-star safety out of Ball there in Galveston, will make his announcement today. I did have a convo last night. I got a call last night, like at 9:30 on Friday night, about Jonah Williams. And it was really interesting because I'll tell you my takeaway, a few takeaways of the Jonah Williams convo. One, I believe this is LSU in Texas. I think it's down to LSU, Texas. As best I can get. Texas definitely has a higher NIL offer on the table than LSU's. And it's, I could say significantly higher, but that's obviously all relative. But yes, it's Texas's NIL offer is bigger, and LSU's not going to close that gap. Let me rephrase. I don't foresee LSU closing that gap. It sounds like he's a Texas lean for football and LSU lean for baseball. And I was also told last night that it's a blower. Whoa. All right. I was also told last night with Jonah that and let's just say that this was a conversation with someone very close to the situation. With knowledge very close to the situation, put it that way. That I don't like when that happens. You know what that happens? Like the little hanger poofers on your hanger marks on your anyway. That he's really legitimately torn. And so my question was, like, he's 50-50 LSU and Texas. So my question was, well, if the kid's 50-50, why is he self-imposing a deadline? Like, he doesn't have to make a decision today. And I think the answer was he's just ready for it to be over. So whatever happens today, I don't know. Now this is me just interjecting and sort of editorializing. This is my opinion. I don't think it's over then after today. Wherever he picks, if it's LSU or Texas, I think you could continue to see everyone continue to recruit him all the way up to signing day, and it may he may be a flip candidate regardless of what happens today. So it may not be over. Get your Nuts Bus shirt, y'all. 929misfits.com. That's the new merch store, part of Guarantee Media. Here, I'll go drop. I know a lot of you are going to ask. I'll drop the Nuts Bus link. Whoop, that's not. Let me get the Nuts Bus specific link. Here, no, it's on the homepage. That's it. It's on the homepage. I'll just post this. It's on the homepage. You'll see it. There's some other good stuff. The FUSCs are there. There's a Tay-Tay shirt. Let the Band Play Next. Some really good stuff. Check them out. Okay. We'll say some good mornings here. Y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, like the page, share the post, and all that stuff. Hey, Donald A.B. Good morning. Randall. Jeff, what up, my dude? Good to see you, man. Austin, good morning. Considering the last 3 season openers have been train wrecks, last 4 have been train wrecks, Austin. What are you looking for from this team to get out to a good start and win? And by the way, Austin, Mississippi State, UCLA, Florida State. Last 4 have been train wrecks. Have not won an opener since Joe Burrow in the 2019 beat Georgia State or Georgia Southern. One of the Georgia Southern. One of those. Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Georgia Southern, 55-3. What do I want to see? How about not muffing punts? How about executing snaps? How about not giving up crossing patterns that are house calls for 60 yards? Essentially, don't give up the big play. Lincoln Riley is a good offensive coach, y'all. That's the one thing about this we're probably not spending enough time on is the opponent to understand. Lincoln Riley is an elite offensive play caller, elite offensive coach, and USC has talent. And so for LSU's defense, this is going to be a real challenge, regardless of how much better you are. It's still like you're still going to give up yards and points. Christian, week 0 is here. All's right in the world. Weston, Hadley Vowell, good morning. Football time. Let's go. Brett DeGrow, Jordan, I need to get a shirt. Where can I get it? Link. Just posted the link. 929 Misfits. Y'all check it out. Plenty of good stuff there. We have our radio station swag, but then also just one-off design, stuff like this. So y'all help us spread the word. Would love to sell a ton of these, the Nuts Bus shirts. This is great. By the way, shout out to E-Rock, who did this design, by the way. Erica did that on Canva. I think she did a great job with it. I think that's awesome. Look at, there you go. Christian, my FUSC shirt arrived earlier the week. I will have my FUSC shirt on for Whiskey and Wine 100%. Win or lose, either way, I'll have it on. Jason Horn, good morning. Thank God it's officially football season. Yes, sir. Garrett, morning. LSU Baseball Twitter shared the locker room with new gear. Looks like Jake Brown wears 7. Josh Pearson will wear, John Pearson, wear 47. He'll take Tommy White. So not many 47s. You don't see a lot of 47s out there. Yes. Oh, by the way, so Monday, that's a good point. So thank you for that. Monday, we do. Wait. I said Monday, might be Wednesday. Hang on. Wednesday. So Wednesday, we get media availability with Jay Johnson. He'll release the fall roster and discuss the incoming class of players joining the 2025 team. So Brian Kelly presser on Monday. Y'all, like, Monday's game week. Like, Monday is our game week routine where we talk to Brian Kelly at noon on Monday. We get into all of our weekly guests, our football season regulars. I am really, really, really looking forward to it. Jason Horn, love the shirt. Y'all get your Nuts Bus shirts. Posted the link. I should probably pin the link. Bradley, good morning. College football is back. Taylor, good morning. Austin, think of the many players who will be playing in this game next weekend. Weren't even alive during the 03 split championship. We're getting older. Yes. It was funny. We had, I think someone referenced it. We had a guy on this week, Ryan Karchi, LA Times, who covers USC for LA Times. And he referenced that and referenced it almost as if it was something that was a long forgotten thing. I'm like, brother, I ain't long forgotten to me. I was a senior at LSU. I remember it well. But it's one of those IYKYK things. If you know, you know. Yeah, you get it away. Club Ruckus, good morning. Kelly Gross, good morning. Tim Gotro, Mark, good morning. Yeah, four college football games today, most notably here at 11 a.m. Central Time, Florida State, Georgia Tech from Ireland. We also get SMU against Nevada today. SMU, first game as an ACC member. They a big-time offense. Rhett Lashley, the head coach there, is a really good offensive coach. Preston Stone, their quarterback, returns. So SMU is a big, like 27-point favorite, something like that. It's a big number, but they may very well cover it. So, all right, let's see. Smash the like button if you would. Bubba, Jacob, good morning. Mark, supposedly they installed a 40-yard continuous bar in the Superdome. Mark, not supposedly, that happened. The Saints issued a press release. We have details of it, by the way, and photos at louisianasports.net. If you have not done it yet, please bookmark louisianasports.net. Make it a daily part of your internet perusing for all of your local sports content. Completely free. No paywalls ever. No subscriptions ever. No annoying assault of pop-up ads every time you scroll ever. louisianasports.net. Quentin Breakbill, let the festivities chaos commence. Yes, sir. Caleb, Jonah to LSU. Caleb, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what Jonah Williams is going to do. If for those just joining, missed the very start of the show, had a convo last night about Jonah Williams. The takeaways, seems like Texas football has recruited him better. LSU baseball has recruited him better. It seems like it's down to LSU and Texas, and he's truly split 50-50. Texas has a better NIL offer. If the kid's truly torn, just wants it to be over. But I really think that whoever he picks today, I don't think the recruitment ends. And I think there is a chance that this could go down all the way to signing day. Murder Giraffe, Hunter Picard. Hope we see you in Vegas and Delano. Hunter will be at Mandalay Bay for our shows, man. So Mandalay Bay and Delano right there connected to each other. So be sure to come see us, man. AFR Friday. I guess for those who are getting there early enough. So AFR will be live from Vegas Friday from 1 to 4 Pacific, obviously. No shows on Saturday for us, but then Sunday, obviously, Hanny will be there for Eagle Game Day. T-Bob and I will be there for Whiskey and Wine. And then, obviously, Eagle post game following. So we'll be all there at Mandalay Bay. Gulf South, good morning. Was it one of your guests this week given picks who included SMU over for the first half, up by 14? Yes. So that was Chris Marlar. Hang on one second. So Chris Marlar, who is LouisianaSports.net. We hired Chris, who's formerly of Saturday Down South. Covers the league. Chris, if you don't know who Chris is, he's Vern Funquist on Twitter. He has he's got a comedy background, so you'll see. So a lot of his stuff is funny and a little irreverent. Knows the league obviously really well, and did an amazing job creating content for Saturday Down South. It's one of the reasons it grew the way it did. He was a big part of that. And so we hired him to sort of lead our SEC coverage. And one of the things, where is this link? If I can't find it, that's a problem. So we got to work. We're still getting there. I know it's linked on Twitter, so let me find it there. It's a problem that I can't find it on search. Anyway, all this to say, Gulf South, just give me one quick second here. I'm going to find the link, and it's all of his best bets for today. And one of them was what you were referring to. He had some prop bets. He liked the over on the passing yards for Preston Stone, which I think is 225. Here it is. Yep, here it is. Got it. Here it is. Gulf South, I'm dropping this in the comments. So it's the Big Picks Energy piece that Marler did. There you go. It's, SMU minus 13.5 in the first half. Haynes King over 1.5 touchdowns. Florida State first half money line. Florida State to win the first half and full game. Roydale Williams over 60 rushing yards. Roydale Williams anytime touchdown scorer. So a lot of props there. But if you want to check them out, I just dropped them in. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post, all that stuff. Ryan, now that college football is back, my hot take is Florida State won't be that good this year. Not a believer in DJU. Miami and Clemson for the ACC. I'll tell you a sleeper, and if you're watching College Game Day, Nick Saban said it, don't sleep on Virginia Tech, man. They returned 20 of their 22 starters. Their quarterback's back. They return all 5 starting offensive linemen. That's a veteran team. And in the portal era, it is very, very hard to maintain that much consistency in your roster. And they're returning 20 of 22 starters. Again, if you're just looking for a sleeper team, I understand why people are going to be behind Clemson and Florida State and Miami and the teams everybody's talking about. Virginia Tech is one of those teams that you may look at and go, could that be the team that nobody's talking about that jumps up and bites somebody? Anthony, good morning. Hope all's well. I've been laying low. Will be all season, not commenting, just here to listen. You got it, dude. Glad you're here. Michael Cook, good morning. Chris Proctor, good morning. Are y'all doing pregame tailgate and whiskey and wine in Vegas? No tailgate pregame, but we will be doing whiskey and wine, yes. So the thing about the pregame tailgate, I know the Alumni Association is doing one at the House of Blues, and I'm told it's hard sellout. Like, I think they had like 2,000 spots, and it is like completely sold out, done. It like fire marshal, fire code type stuff. They don't have any more room. The thing is, like, some of the groups I know, like, we're going with Jason Ramazan's group, and Jason didn't plan a pregame tailgate because normally there's tailgates. They got screens everywhere. There's live music. There's food. You're watching games, all that stuff. Well, LSU is the only game of the day, and it's at 4:30 Vegas time. So the thought was, like, you're in Vegas, just go do Vegas. You don't need to sit in like a hotel ballroom, eating chicken fingers. So, anyway, Bam is burning. Morning, Matt. What time do Aiden and Jonah commit? So Aiden Anding, I don't know. Aiden Anding put on his social media that he's releasing a video interview today at noon. Now, I don't know this, but I'm assuming that that the commitment may be in this video today at noon. Again, I don't know that definitively. And then Jonah, he hasn't announced the time either. Let me see. I'm checking. No time on Jonah's social. So keep waiting on that. But again, I think Aiden Anding is going to be at noon. Jordan Ward, any word on the nephew's walk-up song? What about moving like Bernie? I did talk to my sister last night. He was really excited. So if you missed it on AFR, my 6-year-old nephew Aiden is playing a machine pitch in Kansas, and my sister was like, "All right, they're doing walk-up songs. We need help. Like, what should he pick?" And so Terrio and I made it a bit yesterday on Friday on AFR, and I think we're gonna go with "Set It Off." That, I think Baby Got Back was a popular one as well. So we'll see what they choose. I like Neck too, just for the bit. Wendell Norman, Dale Broussard, Mark, will the Saints pick up offensive linemen? I think so, Mark. I don't know how you don't. I mean, someone's going to slip through the cracks and going to be a better option than you have. Jeff, pin the Nuts Bus link. So let me pin. All right, let me pin it. Okay. Copy. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's see, post, boom. Pin. Okay, there you go. Pinned on YouTube. Let's see, Facebook. Comment. Boom. Come on. And boom, boom. Shoot. There we go. All right. There we go. I think I got it now. Oh. Okay, there we go. All right, should be pinned now. The other, if you're interested in the Nuts Bus shirt, 929 Misfits. That's one of the new endeavors from us at Guarantee Media, little merch store. There's a lot of station merch on there. If you want 104.5 ESPN or LouisianaSports.net merch, Eagle 98.1, all that stuff. And then we have some one-off stuff like the Nuts Bus shirts. There's an FUSC shirt. There's some other stuff. So y'all check it out. Okay. All right. Mark, will Trevor Penning start for the Saints game 1? I think so, Mark, just because I don't think they have a better option, unless if Oli Udoh steps up and steals that job from him, which I guess could happen, but I think those are probably your two options. Hayden Hayes, Morning Matt, press conference etiquette question. When asking coaches questions, is there guidelines on asking 1 versus 2 questions with your time? That's a good question, Haynes. And I think sometimes it's a matter of so here's why sometimes people ask 2. So they pass the mic around, right? So you have runners. So there are sports information interns and workers that carry the mics and they walk throughout the press conference crowd. And so you kind of raise your hand and they come to you and give you the mic. So that way you can ask your question. Then it's heard throughout the speakers and all, whatever. But you have a very limited number of time. And a lot of people, most everybody in there wants to ask a question. So usually you don't want to sit there and hog the mic because then you're being impolite to your colleagues that would like to ask a question as well. But you also know it's usually not likely that you're going to get the mic twice. So if you have 2 you want to ask, sometimes you can piggyback them, especially if they if one is a short answer. So for example, last week I did ask a piggyback question. I said to BK, I asked him the question about from day 1 of camp, what was something maybe you were apprehensive about that you feel better about today? And I said, by the way, and when do you start USC prep? And so he said, we'll begin USC prep on Tuesday. We'll treat that like an open date week. And it was a 15-second answer, something really quick, just sort of like a point of order, and then went into the answer, the full thing. I think sometimes it's just a judgment call, but it's a good question. Dale, who we betting today? I'll probably take Marler's prop bets and see how they go. So I don't have a super strong feel, but some of those feel good. Like I like Florida State, first half money line and to win the game. Maybe parlay those together. I think that's a good play. Haynes King. If you feel like that Georgia Tech offense is going to get going, and King is a pretty dynamic offensive guy, so maybe over 1.5 touchdowns. I think there's some good props in there. Rocky Brennan, Georgia Tech plus 10.5. It's bold. That line has come down a bunch, by the way, too. Anthony, let's see. I get the feeling we're just going to be a run-heavy team, more like a Miles offense. I don't hope they have the worst fan tag removed. So, Anthony, I don't think, please don't misunderstand. I don't think this is going to look anything like a Les Miles offense, where you were too tight in a fullback and was 3 yards in a cloud of dust and it was run, pass, punt. I mean, I think we'll never see that again. Joe Sloan's calling this offense, and that's not what Joe Sloan is going to do. I do think, however, there will be more of a traditional run look option for this offense to try to shorten games a bit. The offense last year was so explosive, and it wasn't that they didn't run the ball. Again, like I've gone over this. I think in the season last year was like 440 pass attempts and 411 rushing attempts or something like that. Or maybe they were within like 19 plays of each other over the course of 13 games. So they were very balanced. They were just very explosive and scored very quickly. So your defense was on the field a lot. I think there will be the opportunity behind a big, physical, talented, deep veteran offensive line to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, shorten the game, protect your defense a little bit when you need to. So I think that option is going to be there. So you will see some of that. Larry Garner, Southern Heat 21. Good morning. I'll catch you next Sunday, Mandalay Bay. Looking forward to, man. Please come say hello. Would love to meet anybody and everybody who's there. Kevin Cloud, good morning from NOLA. Same area we saw you at last week. It was cool meeting you. Very cool. Kevin, so we were in New Orleans. It wasn't last week. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Kevin, remind me where we met. And I'm trying to think because we bounced around a bunch. That we went a lot of places in a 24-hour period. Kevin, remind me if you're still there. You may not still be there, but shout out, man. Good to see you. Jordan, we got 7 and 18. Figure out the real question: who's wearing 9? Nobody. Nobody's like. You know what's weird, Jordan? I don't know why this entered my mind. It's so weird you posted that. I don't know why, but I woke up this morning and I was laying in bed thinking about. Oh, I know why. Because it's 8 days from the start of the season. There's been like a lot of jersey countdowns and stuff. And so yesterday was 9. I was like, oh, I bet they did a bunch of Burrow stuff yesterday. I didn't see any of it, but I bet they did. And I was like, oh, they have it. And I started thinking, well, they haven't issued 9. And I was like, well, the same thing with the Saints. Like number 8 for Archie isn't retired per se, but it just has never been issued. Like same with Breeze and the Saints and 9. No, 9 isn't retired. They just never issued it again and won't. And same with LSU. They haven't issued 9 since Burrow left, and I don't think they ever will, and they should retire it. But and I think same for Jaden and 5. Like I think your Heisman winners, their jersey should be retired. Billy Cannon's 20 is retired. So it's interesting. I don't know that everybody knows this, but so when Billy Cannon, like right when his career ended, they made a proclamation that they were retiring 20. No one would ever wear it again. So his 20 is retired. So the number is retired. What LSU has done since with Jerry Stovall and Tommy Casanova is they have retired their jersey. So people can still wear the number, but they're honored, in Tiger Stadium. But the only number in LSU football that is retired is Billy Cannon's 20. I think they should do the same with Burrow and Jaden. Just my opinion. Abner, good morning. You got it. Gregory Gordy, good morning. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Brambo, I really believe we're going to see an old school smash mouth LSU offense mixed with spread and explosive playability. If the D-line can eat blocks, Perkins and Penn will make plays. I agree with that, with the linebackers making plays, but I think this is also a defense where they want the defensive line to make plays as well. Brennan Huff, Parrish jingle for the walk-up song, not a bad idea. Jonah Williams committing at 6:30 and on 3. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I didn't see that, so thank you. Let me actually let Hunt know. All right. Sorry. Dane, good morning. Jordan, what's your unicorn bottle for 2024? I mean, look, Jordan, if we're just talking about like what I'm hunting, I'm always hunting. Well, I mean, anything allocated, but I'm always hunting the Van Winkles. I have all the Wellers. So Van Winkles and B-Tax are always the thing that I'm most looking for. Y'all know I crushed my lot B, my 12-year lot B when LSU won the baseball national title. Totally worth it. So I have my RIP 10 right there, but I don't have any of the other Van Winkles. I've got a William LaRue and I've got a Thomas Handy. So those are always the ones that I'm primarily hunting, but I mean, anything allocated. Matt, PFF graded Mason Smith the highest IDL pass rush percentage of all rookies and other wasted DL talent. You know, Lewis, I don't really like saying he's a wasted DL talent, man. I think, and by the way, I did talk to my buddy Frank Frangie, who's the radio voice of the Jaguars and hosts afternoons on 1010XL in Jacksonville. And he texted me and said all the LSU guys are doing incredible. And he said Mason Smith's been really good with the chance to be great, and that plays to that. I think I really wondered what would have happened to Mason had he not torn his ACL, because he was incredible going into the sophomore year. And I think last year it was a combination of a lot of things. I think number one, hesitancy coming off a torn ACL. Number two, having not played football in a year, getting back into football shape. I think we also never talked about it, but like Mason had an ankle injury in the last scrimmage before the season that Saturday. I mean, the media was there watching it, and he like stayed down on the field for a while. And I think he played through that as well as the knee. And just the defense as a whole was really bad. So I think there were a lot of things that contributed to Mason not having a great. I mean, obviously, you know, having 5 defensive line coaches in 3 years is really not advantageous. So anyway, let's see. Game Day talked about NC and said Max Johnson isn't named the starter yet. He and true freshman will play week 1. Crazy Max went from starting at LSU to battling a true freshman 4 years later at NC. He's going to be the starter. I think when you have a highly rated guy, like, you're going to mix him in. I mean, I don't think that's a surprise, but Max should be the starter, kind of like the every down guy there. But yeah, I mean, you wonder how it might have gone had he stuck it out at either LSU or A&M. Because Max was a good player. Big kid, tough kid, strong arm. Not that dissimilar from Nuss, son of a former quarterback, son of a coach, all that stuff. All that background. And if Max stayed, then Jake probably stays as well. Jake Johnson, the tight end. So who knows? But yeah, what a winding path for him, huh? Hey, Brian, good morning from Franklin, Kentucky, visiting the grandkids. Hope we get some good news in recruiting today. We're going to get at least one today with Aiden Anding. We'll see what happens with Jonah Williams. Hope you have a great day, Brian. Gregory, any freshman contributors for the USC game? Oh, yeah, you'll see freshmen all over the field. Just on the special teams, I've charted this stuff before. Like, you'll see Deshaun Spears, PJ Woodland, I think you'll see Caden Durham in some capacity. You might see Dom McKinley rotate in at defensive tackle. And I realized this too, y'all. The other day when Brian Kelly said we're playing 5 or 6 defensive tackles, he said 5, and I was going through the 5. I left out JVR Suggs because I said, look, your first 4, I think you know who your first 4 are. You've got Guillory, Paez are your first 2. Then Jalen Lee, Sean Washington are next. Those are the 4. And then I was saying, well, your 5 is either Don McKinley or Akimo Makaneoli. And I totally forgot Suggs, JVR Suggs. He's your 5. That's your next guy. And then it's, if you're rotating in a 6th, is it Akimo or Don McKinley? So when that was just a nothing else but a brain fart. I just completely forgot. That's totally on me. Trying to do that off the cuff. One Nardi, what's going on? Chance, I noticed Koki isn't as obnoxious and domineering with his question with BK like he does with Jay Johnson. Well, do you mean just that he asks a lot of questions? The difference is in baseball, there just aren't as many reporters. In a football press conference, there's 30, 40 people in there. In baseball, you may have 5, 10, especially for a post-game type deal. It's just a smaller room. Your boy Chase, score prediction, Florida State, Georgia Tech. No idea, man. I don't know. Sorry. 34 to 27. Florida State. 34 to 20. Something like that. You can't bet player stats in Louisiana. That's true, Murder Giraffe. No, but you just can't bet on Louisiana players, right? Like you can make prop bets. You just can't make the prop bet on Louisiana players. Or is it all? Hang on. See, this is good. Okay, I think you're right. I got a lot of team props, but no player props. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Okay, thank you. That's good clarification. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure if it was just for Louisiana, like for Louisiana schools, or if it was for any player prop. Okay. So I won't be betting any of those player props that Murder Giraffe. Thank you. I seen on ESPN the spread went down to 4.5. Yeah, so we talked about that earlier in the week, Brian. That happened on Wednesday. So it was hovering around a touchdown all summer. Wednesday, a lot of sharp money came in on USC, and that number dropped to 4.5. So and I get it. I mean, like I think you're right to be skeptical about LSU in this opener, where they've lost 4 season openers in a row, and I know that this team is different than those teams, and every year is different in that sense. But maybe I'm just a little gun shy because I've seen this. I also look and I say, look, yeah, I think your defense is going to be better, and I think they will be better. But there's also the thing that I don't know how much better they're going to be, and you have a real challenge against a Lincoln Riley offense. So, yeah, I don't think that this is just a dominant win by LSU. I think LSU can win, probably will win, should win. But I mean, could I see a scenario where you're in a tight ball game in the fourth quarter and you fumble, throw a pick, give a short field? I mean, yeah, I mean, sure. Dane, come on, Matt. We all miss toss dives and short side option. Oof. If I never see it again. Margaret, love the t-shirt. Thank you. Yeah, get your Nuss Bus shirts. I've got the link for your Nuss Bus shirt pinned in the chat. So grab them while you can over at 929 Misfits, the latest endeavor from Guarantee Media. We're all over the place. We do radio, we do video. We're now in the written word space with LouisianaSports.net. We got our merch as well. So you can get all your Nuss Bus, your FUSC. You can get Let the Band Play Neck. You can get your 104.5 ESPN, your LouisianaSports.net merch. It's all there. Check it out. I thought so, Kevin. Okay. Met a lot of people that weekend. My apologies. But yes, gotcha. I just wanted to clarify. So thank you very much. Please don't take offense. Also had a few beverages that weekend. Let's see. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I got distracted. Sorry. Okay. Squirrel. Morning, Matt. Best time of the year is here. Be watching LSU football from Delaware and Virginia this year. All right, Jeremy. Enjoy it, man. Mysel and Mystic. Okay. Richard, what's good? Much love from Dubai. All right, Richard. Let's see. Yeah, got it, Kevin. Got it. That was, I saw you whenever, when I was there. So I remember. I told you a couple of Sundays ago, excuse me, took me and my brother, my cousins took Gramps. We went down on a Sunday to lunch at Arno's, and then we went to Sazerac House after, had a tasting. It was very cool. Well, as we were dropping off Gramps at the front at Arno's, and then going to park. A New Orleans police officer in his unit pulled up. It was like, Scone, it was Kevin. So chatted with him, said hello. New Orleans finest. Cheers to you, man. Be safe out there. Thanks for all you do to help keep us safe. But it was very, very cool. I mean, we'd just gotten out the car, and I actually asked him, I was like, hey, man, where do we park? He's like, good luck. I'm like, hey, man, no tip or anything like that. There was a garage right there. We found it, though. But appreciate you, Kevin. And thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Delton, what's going on? Jordan, where are we going to get the first quarterback in number 7, Bright? Where are we going to get the first? Oh, to wear number 7. Well, not the first, man. Alan Risher wore number 7 back in the day. Wasn't I was going to say Wickersham. He was 5. Now I'm trying to remember, what number did Steve Ensminger wear when he played? Was he 5 as well? I think I have it in my head that, and I was thinking they were all 7, but I think Ensminger and Wickersham both wore 5. Risher wore 7. Was there another quarterback that wore 7? Herb Tyler wore 14. I'm just going through the years. Josh Booty was 14. Rowe was 6. Obviously, Malk was 18. And Jared Lee was 12. Jordan was 9. Mettenberger. No. Met were 8. Harris were 6. Anthony Jennings were 10. 15. He said, so that overlapped with Etling, who wore 16. Then Burrow came in, wore 9. Max Johnson, Nuss started in 5 and now wears 13. Yeah, no, has there been another quarterback aside from Alan Risher that wore 7? It has to have been somewhere along the way, huh? Now I'm thinking, if somebody remembers one, tell me. I mean, maybe there's one from before. Jamie Howard was 4. Loop was 16, right? Chad Loop was 16, wasn't he? I think he was 16. Chad Loop was 16. Ooh. I'm pretty sure Chad Loop was 16. I'll get off my screen. He was 16. Hodson obviously was 13. Huh. What if I'm missing somebody? Tell me, y'all remind me if I'm missing somebody. Now I'm curious. Like, was there another? Oh, Birch. I knew it. I knew it, dude. I'm like, there's somebody obvious I'm missing. Yeah, right. Of course, the guy that was an NFL MVP. Yeah, Burt Jones. Of course, Burt Jones wore number 7. Dude, I knew I was missing. I'm like, I am missing someone so obvious. Like, who I'm going through my mind. I'm going, who am I missing? Yes. So Risher and Burt Jones both wore 7. Dude, that was killing me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, this is a great point. You mean we won't see an LSU punter wearing 9 like Florida did with 15. The fact that Florida let anybody wear Tebow's number ever again is absurd. In my opinion, Tim Tebow is the best college quarterback of all time. Now, let me rephrase. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not saying he's the most talented. I'm not saying we don't have the best career, all that sort of stuff. But he was a 4-year dominant player at the college level who won 2 national titles, helped Florida win one as a freshman, won the Heisman as a sophomore, first underclassman to win the Heisman Trophy, won another national title as a junior, had an undefeated season as a senior until they lost the SEC championship game to Bama, as we know. Like, career, right? College quarterback. Cam was a better athlete, player, talent. Joe Burrow, of course, one season. Give me Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow set every record you can imagine. So, but career, right? I cannot believe that they would give Tim Tebow's number to anybody ever at Florida. Like, it's unconscionable. Let's glad to be back. First time on the show since school started. Good to have you back, Chase. Thanks for being there. Daniel Guidry, looks like Jonah will be an Aggie. I disagree with that, Daniel. We'll see, man. So Daniel's our guy from Galveston. Convo I had last night, Daniel. We'll see. Again, I'm not telling you anything I know, but the convo I had last night sounded like it was LSU, Texas 50-50. Texas with a higher NIL offer. Texas football probably did a better job than LSU football. LSU baseball did a better job than the others. We'll see. We'll see. Richard Dubai sending love. We need to bring the podcast here for one podcast. Hey, Richard, you want to fly me to Dubai? Put me up in Dubai? I'll come there. I'll go anywhere in the world. I want to see the whole world. Like, one thing that I want to do in my life is travel and see every continent and go anywhere and everywhere in the world. Like, I would love to travel. I would love to see everything in the world. So, experience everything, culture, cuisine. I want to go all over the world. So I'm down. Did you see Weller Millennium $7,500 bottle? No, and I won't buy it. Even if I had $7,500 to buy it, I wouldn't buy it. Brian Penn, what's the difference between whiskey and bourbon? I've been wanting to ask you. So bourbon is a kind of whiskey. So the category, Brian, is whiskey, right? And so you have bourbon whiskey, you have Tennessee whiskey, you have Irish whiskey, you have rye whiskey, you have Scotch whiskey. So whiskey is the category. Bourbon is a type of whiskey. And the way that bourbon is effectively American whiskey with a certain mash bill. Bourbon used to be only in Kentucky, and then you'd have like Tennessee whiskey. Like Jack Daniels is not bourbon, it's Tennessee whiskey. And then you have like Japanese whiskey, which is a heavier, which comes from Japan, obviously. And it has a heavier influence of rice. Scotch whiskey is from Scotland, and it tends to be smokier and peatier. Those are the sort of the characteristics of it with its mash bill. But whiskey is the big category. That's the thing to know. It's kind of like a square and a rectangle. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So like all bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbons. Michael Castello, good question. A lot of people don't know that, Brian. It's a good question. Austin, really nice of Max to leave and let us have 2 years of Jaden Daniels. Imagine how that would have gone if he had stayed. How do you think LSU would have matched up with USC in 2003? I don't think there was anybody, Brad, that was scoring on that LSU defense. People forget because LSU beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma didn't win anything of significance. That 2003 Oklahoma team was so dominant that they knew they could lose the Big 12 championship game and still be in the championship. That's how far ahead they were of everybody. They went to Kyle Field and scored 77 points on Texas A&M, and you can laugh, but at the time, A&M was still, they were still where they do this, the wrecking crew, WC, the A&M defense was still the wrecking crew. Like A&M's defenses were still really good. That was R.C. Slocum. R.C. Slocum got fired because their offenses stunk and he never evolved. Sound familiar? But their defense was really good. Oklahoma went and scored 77 points at Kyle Field. LSU's defense was just incredible. That Nick Saban defense was amazing. Marcus Spears and Marquise Hill and Chad Lavallee and Lionel Turner. I mean, they were awesome. They just, Corey Webster, Travis Daniels, they were phenomenal. LaRon Landry starting at safety as a freshman. That defense was so good that they were going to beat anybody. Burroughs Cigar, what's up? Ryan, morning, Matt. Can't help but feel a little worried about the possible fails or outcome of the season due to not being as aggressive in the portal like Ole Miss and other schools. Ryan, listen, man, there's different ways to skin a cat. And Ole Miss got really aggressive, but it's almost like sometimes you look at those super teams. Look, as a Yankee fan, I've seen that before. I've seen the Yankees go ham in free agency and think they're going to buy a championship and it not work. You got to be able to blend and mesh and gel together as a team. And one of the things that Brian Kelly values is building culture and building from the high school ranks up. So, just specifically with this defense, right? Look at, you got transfers on there. Braden Swinson's a transfer, Paris Shand, Gio Paez, Jair Brown. You've got Jordan Gilbert. You've got transfers. But look at how many contributing players have been at LSU their whole career. Savion Jones, Jacoby and Guillory, Greg Penn, Whit Weeks. West Weeks is a transfer. Harold Perkins, Sage Ryan, Ashton Stamps, Jordan Allen. Like a lot of these contributing guys have come up through this program. Were recruited by LSU, recruited by Brian Kelly, have been here now for 3 years, or recruited prior and have stayed. So I think there's something to be said for that continuity. So we'll see, man. There's no secret. LSU wanted to go get a guy like Dominic Williams in the transfer portal. They wanted an elite level defensive tackle. They didn't get it. So you're going to have to do it with numbers and get creative. We'll see how good Blake Baker is. He'll earn his money this year. Did Fuanga ever return to practice? He did on Thursday. That's Saints offensive tackle for those who don't know. Ryan bet the over in the LSU game. Kick back and watch it hit before the fourth. LMAO. Maybe, I don't know what the total is in the game, but let's see. Guess I have to look into a VPN, change my location so I can bet player props because that law just doesn't make sense for out-of-state players. I agree with you. VPN won't work on a betting site. Interesting. David Barris, NFL question. Do you think the hip point tackle ban will cost the Saints some wins this year? I can see refs throwing flag late in the game, killing a drive, changing momentum. So, Devin, I'm not the refs hate my team guy. So no, I don't. And I am good with banning the hip drop tackle as well. It's a dangerous play. Look, Jordan Travis, the Florida State quarterback last year, broke his leg in a heinous manner because of a hip drop tackle. Like, you can tackle without doing something dangerous like that. So, yes, I'm good getting rid of the hip drop tackle. And if it costs the Saints a game, it's because they hip drop tackled and deserve to have a penalty flag thrown. Don't do it. Damon Wilson, who do you think is the second best Louisiana recruiter after Frank Wilson? Probably Corey. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Also, you can go to Mississippi and bet. You cross the state line, you can do that. Or you can have someone wager for you as a proxy if you know someone in another state. Brian, why haven't the Saints retired Morton Anderson's jersey? So the Saints don't retire jerseys, but Morton is in the Ring of Honor. So, there isn't a retired number for the Saints. Like even Archie, I said, isn't retired. Like they don't retire numbers, but they have the Ring of Honor. So Archie, Willie Roaf, Ricky Jackson, Morton. They put Sam Mills in as well. Tom Benson. Drew Brees is going in this year. Be very appropriate if they did it. It'd be very appropriate, obviously, if they did it against Denver when Sean Payton's here on that Thursday night. So we'll see. Scott, good morning. Thanks for all your shows. Hope you have a great last weekend before football. It ain't last weekend before football. We're an hour and 38 minutes from football in Georgia Tech and Florida State getting ready. We're here, dog. All right, please smash the like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Please shout out to all of our sponsors. Brock, you need an orthopedist. They're the best. Parrish Construction and Roofing. You need a roof. We'd love to help you out. I mentioned this. You've heard me talk about fortified roofs. The LDI is opening up, Louisiana Department of Insurance is opening up a new portal window for fortified for 300 Louisiana residents coming up in September. If you've heard me talk about fortified and you're interested, let us help you. Help you apply, get that approval, get your $10,000 grant, and get a fortified roof. We'd love to help you out. All right. Who you got to win, Florida State or Georgia Tech? Give me Florida State. Yeah, how about that? Florida had Tebow and Cam in the same room. How things have changed. Urban Meyer, bro. He was on it. I should also mention Unique Physique and Restored Motions. Unique Physique, y'all have heard about semaglutide, tirzepatide. That's the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Unique Physique is here in Baton Rouge, but you can do the whole thing over telemed, so you don't even have to go into the office, and they can ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, they can ship your medicine to you. So, and all throughout August, or final few days of August here, 50% off your first month's treatment. So uniquephysique.com. Check them out, uniquephysique.com. And of course, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. If you got pain, Crystal Poche can help. Restored Motions and restoredmotions.com. Derek, which preferred razor to shave in your head? I use something called like the skull shaver. It's a handheld electric thing. You just do that. It works awesome. Brian, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I was in Boston. I drove right past Fenway. Thinking of me. If you were thinking of me, you would have spit on it, Brian. Mega Bucks, by the way, we're getting French on the 30th. I've been paying attention to some things. He got an NIL with a jeweler with the LSU jersey on top with his mom's birthday. Okay. Jamie French is a 5-star receiver. His mom is from the Felicianas and went to Southern. So a lot of ties here to Louisiana. It'd be great if they could land. I mean, that would be another 5-star big time prospect if they got him. Kyrie, what's good, man? Tony Williams, the Mayo, online betting not legal in Mississippi. This keeps getting worse. Gregory, I'll be a betting proxy for 20%.
Oh, Daddy.
Matthew George Moscona. Daddy, Matthew George Moscona. He wants to know everybody's last name now. But when he said the last name, I want you to say the full name. What's Daddy's last name? Kyrie, who do you think Izzy should fight next? I got to meet and drink heavily with you watching a fight. Kyrie, so here's the bummer. When football season starts, my UFC watching goes to zero because all the events are on Saturdays, and my Saturdays are nothing but college football. So I go from watching everything to zero from September through December. But I can assure you that when the season ends, I'll lock back in and we will absolutely have a watch party again at LeVare's or somewhere like that for a big UFC card. So look forward to it and hope to see you there, man. Tony, when are you holding a hat party? We talked about that last week. And we were hoping that LSU baseball was going to cooperate, because if LSU had made the supers, we were going to do a hat party around the super regional. So we may pick something like a Thursday Saints game or Thursday night football, Monday night football, something like that, and do a hat party, watch party all in conjunction. So stay tuned for that. But we had hoped to have had it already. But a lot of people have asked, and we do have hats at the parish office. So if you pop into the office, You walk into the front door at the new office on Lavo Lane, right off of Highlandia. You're in the lobby. The first office on the right, it's got a glass wall right there, is Christina. Christina manages the office, all that stuff. Walk in and say, Christina, Scone told me if I came by, I could get a hat. She'll give you a hat. So even if I'm not there, like someone will be there and we'll give you a hat if you walk in. Rocky, get the fortified roof, take advantage of the government money. We'll add several years to your roof. Not only that, the benefit of a fortified roof too is it'll lower your insurance premiums. And depending on who your insurance company is, your provider is, the discount could be as much as 50%. And the reason, for those that don't know, is, and the reason the state is doing this is because they obviously want insurance companies to come back into the state and write policies again. So a fortified roof could help, because even if a storm comes, it could blow shingles off. It could damage your roof. But a fortified roof, effectively, I'm oversimplifying it, seals and adds extra layers of protection to prevent water intrusion. Because what gets really expensive for the insurance companies isn't just replacing a roof. It's when shingles get blown off, you have damage to the roof, but you get water in the house. Now you're cutting sheetrock, you're replacing carpet, contents of the home. If you have furniture, when all that stuff starts to pile onto a claim, now your roof claim becomes many more things, and infinitely or exponentially more expensive. So if you fortify the roof, saying, look, the state would rather give you a grant for $10,000 to install a fortified roof at your home, and to lower the possibility of, it's all about risk management. So you're lowering the possibility of having water intrusion. So if a storm does come, there's less chance that it's a gigantic claim that you might have to make against your policy. So that's the whole premise behind a fortified roof. So, but not everyone's approved. Again, they only open up portal windows to apply for the fortified grant. So one is coming in September, when they're going to have 300. They're going to issue 300 for the state in this portal window. So you got to get in the queue. We can help you do that. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Let's see. Will, thinking it's time for some Chick-fil-A chicken minis. Okay. It's now a mythical hat party. Ryan, now that I mentioned it, Matt, do you have any favorite Yankees moments you remember? I mean, yeah. My favorite is personal, but I mean, my dad and I were at the 2001 World Series post 9/11, Yankees Diamondbacks, and we were there for game. So if you remember, W. Bush threw out that first pitch in Game 3. We were not there for Game 3, but we were there for Games 4 and 5. And if you weren't alive and don't remember it, or if you just don't remember it, Games 4 and 5. In consecutive nights, the Yankees homered in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs off of Byung-Hyun Kim. In Game 4, it was Tino Martinez. In Game 5, it was Scott Brocious. Game 4, they walked it off with a homer from Derek Jeter, which became the Mr. November game. It was the first time ever that baseball was played in November, because the season was delayed because of 9/11. I was there for that game. And then they won it in extras in Game 5 as well. So being there, old Yankee Stadium with my dad, Games 4 and 5 of the World Series, it was in college. I was old enough to remember. I mean, it wasn't like I was so young at all. I mean, so immediately post 9/11, that was October. I mean, that was Halloween of 2001. So it was 6 weeks after 9/11. I mean, going by ground zero, still smoldering, and tensions and emotions so high, but celebratory around the World Series. Just, it was amazing. I mean, I'll never, that might be, I mean, as far as events I was present at, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be at all the LSU national championship games, 03, 07, 11, which they lost, and then 19. I've been at all those. I didn't get to go to the Saints Super Bowl, which I'm bummed about. I really wish I had just figured out a way to make that happen. But hopefully I get another chance somewhere along the line. But I was at the College World Series in 2000 when LSU won it, which was amazing. But yeah, man, I mean, that 2001 World Series. Now the bummer is, of course, the Yankees lost in Game 7 in the most dramatic fashion ever. I mean, that is considered by some, the 2001 World Series, considered by some to be the greatest World Series ever, because of the dramatics, because of what Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson did in that series. For Arizona, they won the 4 games for Arizona. Schilling pitching on a short rest. Obviously, the walk-off against Mariano. It sucks that it ended the way it did, but Games 4 and 5 when I was there was incredible. Stat Dub, Saban says Georgia Tech is a sleeper in the ACC. I disagree with him. I think Brent Key's a good coach. I think, not Key, Pry. No, Key. No, yeah, Brent Key is Pry's the Virginia Tech coach. Yeah, okay. Forgive me. Brent Key and Brent Pry are a little easy to interchange. Brent Pry is the Virginia Tech coach. Brent Key is the Georgia Tech coach. I think they're creative offensively. I do like Haynes King. Remember, Haynes King started his career at A&M, and he's a pretty dynamic dude. He can run it and spin it. So, I mean, they could give some veteran team. They could give some people some problem. But if you're talking about a sleeper like to win the league, I don't think so. I think that, hey, buddy, I think the sleeper to win the league would be Virginia Tech. Frosty. Okay. Kyrie, if you had to build perfect 10-man NBA rotation, dude, you got to catch me another day on that, dog. I mean, I love the question, and I'm happy to indulge, but not when we're an hour and 23 minutes away from the start of the college football season. And I'm happy to indulge, but that's a hypothetical that I would love to answer on July 6th. Brad David, did Florida play really well in 2003? Was LSU off? It's crazy. The only team to beat LSU was Ron Zook. I was at the game. 19-7. Wasn't that the final? LSU's only touchdown was a Skylar Green punt return for a touchdown. Florida had a big tight end that day. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 19-7. Florida had a big tight end. Of course, the box score is not available. And LSU scored first, by the way. The Skylar Green punt return was the first score of the game. LSU went up 7-0 and didn't score again. It was the tight end was it Carthen? No, that was the running back. Carthen was the running back. It's this one. What was the guy's name? What was that guy's name? Who was the tight end? Can't remember. Anyway. Oh, Dale, I have great news. I'm actually talking to David Mailer today. He sent me a text this week. The platform is finished. It is complete. GameCoin's platform, the Game Changers platform, is complete. So we're talking today about, I would assume he wants to talk to me about marketing, promotion, rollout, all that sort of stuff. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn in saying that, but there is a launch date. It is done, and there is a launch date. He texted me I'm not gonna say the launch date, but it is. I don't think he'd mind me saying. I don't want to say it and something happen, but he did give me the launch date, and it is very really soon. He sent me a sneak peek of the cards with the AR, the augmented reality. I don't know if I want to show. I haven't asked him if I can show this, so I don't want to show it and get in trouble for showing it. But the platform is done, the launch date is set, and he wouldn't set a launch date and announce it. This was always the thing, Dave. I'm so glad you asked. The thing that every conversation we had all throughout this entire process was, we're never going to announce a launch date and artificially impose a timeline on ourselves and run the risk of not making it if it wasn't finished. So it wasn't until it was finished that, and we could control the launch and rollout, that we're going to announce a date. So, Dale, I'm so glad you asked that, because we texted on. He sent me this. So he sent me this on Monday. We had plans to speak on Wednesday after the final review. We missed each other because he was traveling. So we texted yesterday and we're talking today. So, yes, it has been a long time coming, man. This has been a 3-year process, obviously. And it's something that and I know nobody will, but if you have any inclination to go back and look at any of the AMAs or anything we talked about 3 years ago, a big part of that people who aren't into crypto or blockchain, that heard about Gamecoin 3 years ago and bought or got investor interested without really fully knowing, is there's platforms that were in the development stage before Gamecoin that are still being developed. Blockchain technology is still new. So anyway, it's and then obviously there was everything that went on with the SEC investigation, which, if you want to go read all the updates, they're totally transparent about that. I will candidly tell you what exactly happened over a beer sometime, but suffice to say, it was a guy who was trying to scam people out of money. Not anybody associated with Gamecoin, but there was a guy who tried to pull a fast one. We met him with resistance, and so he complained, and that delayed us. But anyway, I'm getting it. Dale, I'm so glad you asked. I have no problem telling you the platform is finished and that they have determined a launch date for the Game Changers platform, and it is very, very, very soon. Very soon. Very soon. All right, Gulf South. Can you scroll up and see my last question about Fortified? Let me see. Sorry, I missed it. Let me see. Here you go. For the roof grant, do you get $10,000 toward the entire roof cost, or grant just for the difference between a regular roof and a fortified roof? Good question. You can put the grant toward whatever. So hypothetically, let's say you file an insurance claim and your deductible is $1,000, whatever. I mean, in theory, whatever the cost it is from the roofing company, like if Parrish comes in and installs a fortified roof, whatever that cost is, and I can't quote you a cost because obviously it's roof specific based on how many squares and all that sort of stuff, but it should cover the entire cost. And in some instances, I shouldn't say, maybe I should, I don't know. Like, you could theoretically have money left over depending on what your deductible is for a roof and then the cost that the roofing company quotes you of the fortified. So effectively, LDI will give you $10,000 toward the cost of a fortified roof. So whatever that costs you based on if you're filing an insurance claim, if it's a cash job, whatever the roof company is charging for the fortified install, all that, like the size of your roof, all that stuff. It depends. I mean, if you have a 10,000 square foot home and a gigantic roof, I mean, it's going to be different. The $10,000 grant will go much further, obviously, on a 2,500 square foot home than a 10,000 square foot home. Makes sense. So, but good question. Let's see. I want to super chat. Maddie's my favorite LSU guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But thank you. But I don't want your money. Like, I don't have super chats turned on because I don't want your money. What I would love for you to do is, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call Parrish. If you're interested in semaglutide or tirzepatide, you call Unique Physique. If you got pain, you're in Baton Rouge, book a session with Crystal Poche. I would much rather you do that. And all those are linked in the description on YouTube. So thank you, but I don't want your money. just keep watching and tell people and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. That helps me tremendously. Do you know what time the commitments are for today? So Jonah Williams is 6:30. It's what someone said earlier on 3. And Aiden Anding has there is a video for Aiden Anding dropping at noon, but I don't know if that is specific. It's an interview. I don't know if that is specifically a commitment video. Have you heard anything more about Jonah Williams? Yeah, so we talked about that throughout the show today. Several people have asked. I got a call last night about 9:30. I'll tell you, I had a conversation earlier this week with someone on the LSU staff who said they felt really good about where they are. Obviously, you've had a lot of the national recruiting guys put picks in for Texas. The call I got last night was more on the baseball side of things, and it was that effectively it's an LSU and Texas decision. He's 50-50. Texas has done a better job recruiting for football. LSU's done a better job recruiting for baseball. There is an NIL gap there. Texas is offering way more than LSU, but is it just a money decision? I don't know. But and I was also told that the kid is very much torn. And so I asked the question, I was like, well, then why is he announcing? I mean, he doesn't have to announce. Like, why is he putting an arbitrary deadline on his decision? And he said, well, I think the kid's just ready for this to be over. So, but that being said, I think that means it may also not be over, right? Like, you can keep recruiting him and see. Brian, what 2 uniforms will LSU be wearing? LSU, regardless of who the home team is, and I don't know the answer to that question. I haven't looked, but LSU will be wearing its traditional gold, white, gold, just like they did against Florida State. So even if LSU is the home team, like in those traditional games, the Power 5 games like that, the non-conference games, the SEC home games, they'll go gold, white, gold, except for whenever they do their one weird alternate uniform game per year. All right, a few more. Moonshine, Tony V, the highest paid baseball coach at $3 million, wrote that story last night for Louisiana Sports.net. Wrote that story last night at like 11 o'clock at night, but it's up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to read it. Go Tigers. JW is very raw talent, not polished in either sport. Go watch a few of his highlights. Texas can have him. That is one of the most foolish things I've ever heard. I mean, with respect to you, I don't know who you are. Like, I have people I legitimately trust, like big league scouts who tell me the day he steps on campus, he's the best player on LSU's baseball team. And if he plays, so he's apparently not playing on his high school baseball team this spring, because wherever he goes, he's going to early enroll and go through spring football. And this person who's a big league scout told me he goes and plays spring football. When he comes to baseball, give him 2 weeks to just get back in the flow, and he's the best player on the team, on any team. So I really don't care. I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't know who you are. I'm not taking your opinion with any degree of seriousness over people who professionally scout and have called this guy a bigger version of Deion Sanders. He is Jamal Adams and Connor Griffin combined. Jamal Adams in football, Connor Griffin in baseball. Like, that is one of the most foolish things. So, no, I want Jonah Williams badly. Let's see. Thanks for the clarification on the grant. I'll be paying out of pocket, so the grant will help. Yeah, man. If you're going cash price on a roof and you want to fortify, if you get the grant, that's a $10,000 grant toward your out of pocket expense on a fortified roof. So yes, the state's, it's why the program exists, man. Like, we all pay taxes. So yes, apply. If you need help applying for it and all that stuff, let us know. We have so Linda on our staff is a former insurance adjuster who now works on this side of it with us, and she's awesome, and she can help walk through all the insurance stuff. So, and deal with the LDI and the fortified grant and everything. Update on Trey Holly. Don't have one, Brian, but it's worth asking again. I mean, the thing we saw, was that when there was the judge recusal and then the delay, it was, I think September 15th, I think was the date that I saw. So mid-September. They had a mid-September continuance. So mid-September, I think, is when they'll have the next court date. So hopefully we'll learn something then. All right, let's see. Barry, do you think Nuss will be in the conversation for the Heisman? I mean, if they win. Guy sounds like a homer. Who in their right mind wouldn't want Jonah Williams? Exactly. Breeze 9012 had a roofing question. You skipped a minute ago. Sorry, Breeze. Scrolling back. Sorry. I didn't mean to skip it. Sorry. Oh, here you go. Matt, how often do you see roof damage from animals? I work in wildlife animal control in Houston. We'll see raccoons rip shingles off every few months. That's a better question for our inspectors. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt you see that. I mean, brother, it takes all kind to make a world, and you go to enough people's homes, you'll see darn near everything. So I don't know that we have a raccoon roof issue as badly here, but maybe. Will Kyle and Jackson see playing time? Yes. I told y'all last Saturday when we got to go watch the scrimmage, when Nuss threw that interception, there was a safety blitz where he threw it to the sideline and just didn't get it all the way out of bounds. And Woodland came up with the toe tap interception on the sideline. Kyle and Jackson was coming on the safety blitz. So, yes, I do think you're going to see Kyle and Jackson. I think they're going to rotate heavily and they're too deep. I think Kyle and Jackson's going to play a lot this year. Okay. Matt, do you think there's animosity from LSU fans against USC from 2003? I know there is for me, and I was 8 years old. I mean, I was a senior in college. So, I mean, that was my senior year at LSU and first title in 45 years. I think people who remember it probably have some of that. But I think also LSU's subsequent success, winning it again in 7, playing for it in 11, winning it in 19, has maybe muted that a little bit. And as time's gone on, I think a lot of the luster off that USC shine is gone. Of course, the 04 title they had to vacate, the 05 championship game they were in and lost to Texas. So I just think a lot of that has just been muted over time. So, and I also think Nick Saban having the career he did only magnifies 03 because people that try to build Nick Saban's legacy mention 03 when he won it with LSU. So I think that adds more shine to LSU's as well. Somebody wrote this morning, it's not A&M Texas battle. It's not, or it is. Again, the thing I was told last night was Texas, LSU 50-50. I have animosity for USC cheating us in 1979. Chance, go on YouTube. So what are you talking about for those who don't know? LSU played USC in Tiger Stadium in 1979. USC was number 1 in the country. They had Hall of Famers like Anthony Munoz and Marcus Allen, Charles White. Great team, right? A great Ronnie Lott, great assembly of college football. LSU had kind of, LSU played a great game, led. USC put together a game-winning drive and won it at the end. And for years, LSU fans have said that LSU got cheated because they called Benji Thibodeau for a face mask and it kept the USC drive alive. The game is on YouTube. You can go watch it. It was a face mask. He grabbed the dude's face mask. Period. I got an idea. Don't let him go drive the length of the field and score and beat you. Like, great game, but because I went through this with Condon for years and years and years, and he said the same thing. We went and looked it up, and I showed him. It was a face mask. He goes, man, you're right. It was a face mask. Yeah, it was a face mask. Anyway, brother, you need to exit stage left. I got a 30-year MLB scout telling me Jonah Williams is Deion Sanders, but I got guy in the YouTube chat saying he's a raw project. Get out of here. See you. No, you don't need. I don't need to hear from you anymore. Respect you as a person. I don't need opinions on Jonah Williams from you anymore. Like literally, when I have a 30-year MLB scout telling me about Jonah Williams, what you say, I'm not in any way moved at all. Back to the 79 thing. My point about that has always been LSU fans would say, oh, the greatest game ever played in Tiger Stadium, this or that. No, it's not. No, it's not. LSU lost. This program has had so many amazing wins. 97 Florida, the 07 Florida game, the entire Joe Burrow season. There's a litany of amazing games played in that stadium where LSU won. There is no reason to continue ever to celebrate a hard-fought loss. This program is beyond that. So no, I will never celebrate a hard-fought loss. You lost. That would be like saying LSU, Alabama, 2012, the Yeldon game. Best game ever in Tiger Stadium. No, it wasn't. It sucked. I mean, I got a electric atmosphere. Crowd was loud. Chill bumps. Tiger Stadium, full throat was awesome. Great ambiance, everything. You lost the game. You choked it away. You let TJ Yeldon catch a screen pass and run for a touchdown. And if you make that tackle, you win the national championship that year. Because your only loss would have been Florida, and you would have been the one-loss team playing Notre Dame for the national championship, not Alabama. And you'd have blown the doors off of them. So, anyway. Yeah, that's another one. Ed losing to Bama as last year, celebrating coming off the field. Exactly. It was sad. Because you played them tough. Get out of here. Anyway. Ray Woods, would you happen to have a game coin update? Ray, you missed it 10 minutes ago. Yes. The Game Changers platform is finished. David Mailer texted me on Monday. We're supposed to talk today. The platform is finished. They were going over the final run through on Wednesday of this past week. It's finished, and they have a launch date set, which is very, very soon. I'm excited for it. All right. 10 o'clock. I got to go. Got to get Drew dressed. We got to go ride elevators and get back in an hour and 2 minutes so I can watch some college football. Y'all have an awesome day. Please, YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post, all that stuff. Please support our sponsors. They are all the sponsor links are in the description on YouTube, and I'll make sure everybody's tagged on Facebook as well. Y'all have an awesome day.